This makes the Yankees unstoppable. There goes Juan Soto. There goes Polar Bear Pete Alonso. Oh, yeah. There goes Brian Cashman. He's got the checkbook. And last but not least, certainly not least, there's Hal Steinbrenner. He's got all the monies. All the monies. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we got a quote from our GM, our loyal GM, Brian Cashman. There's a lot of high-quality players in this marketplace. Certainly, Pete did an amazing job with the Mets. Big time, major update. Free agency. Oh, yeah, it's about that time. Yankees Digest bring you all things New York Yankees. But before we say another word, you know what time it is, right? You know, not that time. That time right there. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Closing in on 2,000 subscribers. We're right there at the edge. Let's continue to bridge that gap between the subscribed and the non-subscribed right here at Yankees Digest. Bring you all things New York Yankees. The postseason's over. The regular season is over. It's about that time for free agency. And you know what we're talking about here. We're talking about the Polar Bear. Yes, we're talking about the Polar Bear. Shout out to Mike Puma from the New York Post. He broke this story today, as a matter of fact. Yankees talked to Scott Boras. That's the agent for Pete Alonso, also the agent for Juan Soto. Well, foreshadowing. About Pete Alonso. With first base a big question mark. Now, there's no question, speaking of question marks, Anthony Rizzo, his option was declined earlier this week. He's a free agent now, free to sign with whoever. He will not be back in the Bronx, as we predicted on this channel several weeks ago. So that begs the question, who's going to replace him? And what better way to replace him than with this guy right here, the Polar Bear? Okay? Like, this isn't rocket science. The Yankees don't even have to leave the state of New York to find his replacement. You know, the Mets are going to be flirting with Juan Soto all winter meetings, all offseason, until he lands his historic contract, cross your fingers, back with the Bronx Bombers, hopefully. In the meantime, the Yankees don't have a first baseman. Ben Rice is not the answer long term. Oswaldo Cabrera is not the answer long term. John Birdie isn't the answer long term. There is a vacancy at first base. And why not go get the best first baseman on the market in the Polar Bear? And I'll take these numbers. The 240 batting average, you kind of live with that. You know, he's a home run hitter, so, he's going to have his strikeouts. But 34 home runs, 88 ribbies, 788 OPS. Yeah, I'll take that. And you know why I'll take that? Because this is what Rizzo gave you last year. 228, 8 home runs, 35 ribbies, 637 OPS. One is not like the other. Okay? That's Pete Alonso. That's Anthony Rizzo. And these numbers are a lot better than these numbers. Okay? Polar Bear. Can you imagine a lineup that would feature Giancarlo Stanton, All Rise, here comes the judge, Pete Alonso, and this does not stop the Yankees from getting to Juan Soto. We'll get to Soto later in the video. But can you imagine a lineup with all of that firepower? Because for all intents and purposes, this is the Dodgers' world right now, and the Yankees are living in it. So this is not a rebuild. Yankees don't do that. This is a reload. The Yankees are reloading the clip, okay? And it's all about, this is an arms race that the Dodgers have cast the first die, all right? They are the world champions. They have an unstoppable machine that wasn't even at full strength in the World Series. They didn't even have Tyler Glasnow. He didn't throw a pitch in the postseason, rehabbing. But the Dodgers have Ohtani. The Dodgers have Mookie Betts. The Dodgers have Freddie Freeman. The Dodgers have Teoscar Hernandez if he doesn't opt for free agency or a trade. The Dodgers are loaded out the wazoo with firepower upon firepower. Oh, yeah, Yamamoto. How could I forget? They're just throwing out $300 and $400 and $500 million contracts like Like they're just printing money over there in LA. It's about time the Yankees kept that same energy. Go get Polar Bear. Go get Polar Bear. There's nothing stopping the Yankees from making this move. He's a free agent. Soto's a free agent. Yankees can get both. There is nothing stopping Hal and Brian from sitting down, crunching the numbers, and figuring out a way to land the Polar Bear as well as Mr. Juan Soto. I'll say his name one more time because those pinstripes he needs to be buried in those pinstripes. Juan Soto. This isn't hard. Let's not make this harder than it needs to be. The Yankees, their prime plan in this offseason is to walk away with 2 certified studs to add to this batting order. And I wouldn't mind a pitcher or 2 either. I really wouldn't. Because outside of Cole and Rodon, a lot of question marks. So at least one bona fide starter via trade or via free agency. But you need 2 sluggers from this free agency class. And the only 2 sluggers I'm interested in to be Yankees in 2025 and years beyond are this guy right here and this guy right here. Pete Alonso and Juan Soto need to be Yankees for life. It's just that simple. The production you would get from, of course, Soto being an everything generational talent, a lefty, and Pete Alonso being yet another right-handed slugger to go into a lineup that already has Judge, that already has playoff Stanton. Giancarlo had a bit of a resurgence this year. Battle some injuries like as always, but just get Stanton to the playoffs. Just get playoff Stanton to October. He'll be locked in and he'll give you everything you need to win a championship. But the Yankees were, in terms of firepower, they were a step below the Dodgers coming into this series. I kind of misjudged that. A lot of people did. A lot of Yankee fans did, including myself. A lot of people did. Because, again, you match firepower with firepower. If you mean to tell me that the Yankees and Dodgers are going to run back that World Series next year, same bat time, same bat channel, don't be shocked if it's the same outcome. All right? Because the Yankees have to match that firepower. And the quickest way and the best way to do so is to bring this guy back right here, Juan Soto, and bring back, no, not him, definitely not him, Polar Bear. Polar Bear and Soto. Those should be the only 2 targets in terms of offensive firepower that the Yankees target in this free agency class. Because what they're going to give you, they're going to tip the scales back into your favor. You got Polar Bear at first base, and again, he plays a solid first base. It's Rizzo. There was a decline. Again, there's no Anthony Rizzo hate, but you got to talk about the injuries. You got to talk about the decline at the plate and somewhat in the field as well. His best days are behind him. Polar Bear is still in his prime. I believe Polar Bear still has 4 to 5 really still solid top flight years before he starts to fall off a cliff. All right? And again, born 94. He's still a pup. You know what I mean? He just turned 30. He still has prime baseball ahead of him. Or he's turning 30, excuse me. So the move needs to be made. It's a no-brainer for Hal. It's a no-brainer for Brian Cashman. Polar Bear and Juan Soto need to be, primarily Polar Bear, they need to be your main targets in free agency. Because if the Yankees are going to catch and surpass that nemesis on the other coast, they're going to need to reload. And the best way to reload is to, of course, bring back Juan Soto. That goes without saying. It's like bread and a BLT. It's a given. The bread is a given. But go out and get Polar Bear too. Go out and get Polar Bear to go at Juan Soto and trust and believe the Yankees will be a 95 to 100 win team, and they'll be back in the Fall Classic to finish what they started this past year. And trust me, the Dodgers are going to be there. I'm already. You can already pencil them in. They'll be back in the dance next fall. The question is, are the Yankees going to do what they need to do to match that energy and be there for the rematch of all rematches? But that does it here for Yankees Digest. Bring you all things New York Yankees. This has been your boy, Ugo Onyianta. Keep on coming back. Free agency is just starting, baby. Winter meetings are on the horizon. We got a ton of content for you right here at Yankees Digest. Bring you all things New York Yankees. This is Ugo Onyianta. Thanks for tuning in. Come on back. Peace.